no matter what. I'm feeling great.
Om Shanti and welcome back to yet another episode on Light of Knowledge with Sister Janki ji. We have been discussing the basics of meditation. Now today, we're going to talk to Didi about the socio-economic problems in the society, why there is so much disparity. You have your rich and you have your poor. And there are a lot of other issues, such as health issues, issues of women. But one by one, we're going to get these answers from her. Does Raj Yoga have any answers for these problems? Or is there any surefire way, a single solution that can handle all these problems? So let's talk to Didi and welcome her to our Godlywood studio. Om Shanti and welcome back.
Om Shanti, thank you.
Didi, we're going to kind of switch gears a little bit today. And I want to know, there are so many problems out there in the society, be it health or poverty, whether it is children or women empowerment. We will take up these issues one at a time, but does Raj Yoga offer any solution to these problems in general, or do we have to look at each problem separately, one at a time?
You see, what's gone wrong with the world so far is that people are looking for peace and happiness, but in the wrong way,
Right.
and in the wrong places.
Right.
For example, some people think position is power, money is power, or knowledge, physical knowledge. They study up to professorship and all that. That's power. So physical strength is power. So these are all physical aspects of a human being. But the real power, the real strength that is lasting, that is a sure way to give us complete stability and complete security is the inner power. Mm-hmm. So if we can really work on the inner power, then we can always feel that we are self-sustained, we are not weak, we are okay, and we can move forward with confidence. So I do not lean on an outside thing, but I'm not saying that knowledge, outside knowledge is not good. I'm not saying that outside position is not good. They're all good, but there must be a balance between the inner needs and the outer needs. But if we just focus on getting this and accumulating this and learning this and going to these places gives me power, no. I have to fill myself inside to give myself that real stability. And so we need that. We need time for ourselves.
Right. How do we bring that balance? Because normally the fear, again, people have is when I go into meditation or spirituality, I have to give up all these gadgets and the luxuries that I surround myself with. Do I have to give it up? And here at the same time, you're talking about inner power. How do I bring a balance between the two?
You see, when you meditate, you don't have to give up anything on the outside. You can still enjoy the facilities. You can enjoy your wealth, your position. All that is good. But the way you enjoy is not like wasting. It's not going into the wrong things. It's not spending your money in the wrong ways. It's not doing something that is not ethical. But you have the knowledge and you enjoy whatever the world has to offer you. That's good. But you see, people now spend so much money on useless things, then they get frustrated, and then they feel hopeless, and then they come into a kind of a depression. So these things should not happen. So we can lead a happy life, a luxurious life. That's not an issue. The issue is, how well equipped am I to handle myself in this kind of a world that I live in.
How do we develop these inner powers so we can face any situation that comes our way?
Very interesting question. This is what Rajyoga teaches. Brahma Kumaris Rajyoga centers all over the world. They reach out to people to advise them, to help them to look at themselves and to build on themselves so that they get this inner power. And meditation is the way.
Okay.
Because meditation is time for the self, the unseen self away from this physical body. So that needs to be empowered. So I, the unseen soul, the master of this body, I feel empowered. I feel strong and I can manage this body. So that feeling has to come, and meditation gives that kind of support.
Didi, you just talked about the body, and that brings a question to my mind. There's a lot of mind-body medicine going on these days, and a healthy mind gives you a healthy body. These are the kind of things we learn and listen to. But what exactly is the connection between the mind and the body? Because the reason I bring this up is health has become a big issue in our modern day society. We are seeing an increase in diabetes, obesity, and just to name a few, which are like lifestyle diseases. So how can meditation help with this?
You see, many doctors have said that those who study meditation, those who do meditation, and those who know meditation, they heal faster than a patient who hasn't learned meditation. So there is a connection between the mind and the healing of the body. And they also say that patients who have learned meditation, they are more positive, they accept the medication, they accept the doctor, they don't have doubts, and they are fully into it. And so this also helps in the healing process. Whereas another patient who doesn't know any meditation, he would have some doubts. Is this the best hospital to go to? Is this the best doctor? Will I get healed? What will happen if I don't sort of come out of this disease, or this operation is not successful? So they create all these doubts, and this also slows down the healing process. So how we approach a topic or how we approach a situation very much depends on our way of thinking, and that will affect the outcome. So it's good to be positive in everything. Say I'm taking some medication, so I tell myself, thank you, this medication is going to give me health. So I take it. So I'm already feeding myself with that power to absorb this medication. So like that, everything we do, the water we drink, the food we eat, the medicines we take, the people we mix with, if we can just keep ourselves positive all the time, that's wonderful. That is being optimistic, but not pessimistic.
Right. I think this is a very beautiful approach. Even you talk to your medicine, it sounds like, what you're suggesting.
Yes.
But I feel this is a really great suggestion. You tell your medicine that, you're going to work for me.
Yes.
Right. So this is a very novel approach, and I'm sure, it's going to give good results. If people follow this, then I'm sure it's going to give them really good results.
There's another one thing which is good to keep in mind, and that is having an attitude of gratitude.
Nice.
Instead of complaining, this is not good and this is not enough and this is not equal to the money that I paid, the complaining nature, it's better to have an attitude of gratitude that what I'm getting is the best for me. What I'm experiencing is the best. Thank you. So that feeling of acceptance, that feeling of being okay helps a lot in the way I heal the body and I heal the mind.
Didi, you brought up a very important aspect of our day-to-day living, I'll say. There is so much literature out there on gratitude, and all religions practice or talk about gratitude. Could you shed some light on how exactly gratitude or being grateful can enhance our life?
That's a wonderful question. Gratitude is something that we feel is very beneficial to us. And so we accept that. And from that position, we can move ahead, take another step forward. But if I'm not grateful, then I'll say, why is this like this? Why did they do this? And I go backward. I'm draining myself of energy. I am finding fault with everybody. I'm not satisfied with myself. And I'm not grateful. But if I'm grateful and I tell myself everything that has happened is for the best, and the world is supportive of this, and I'm so happy that I'm like this, now what is my next step? So there is a feeling of moving forward, a feeling of progressing, and going on to the next stage, instead of moving backward and looking for faults. So that's one of the things that gratitude gives. Gratitude also gives us a feeling of, yes, I've taken enough. I've been given enough. I've had everything that I need. Now can I share with someone? Can I give some caring attitude, sharing attitude with someone? It also gives us a feeling of being generous. And this feeling of gratitude also brings us closer to the Creator. He brings us so many good things that we can appreciate. The beautiful tree, the sunset, the sea, all these things are such lovely things. And we say, thank you for such a beautiful world.
Right.
But if I'm not grateful, I say, oh, it's the same sun that is setting. It's the same sunset day in, day out. Why does the sun set in the west? Why not in the east? So like this, we can complain about anything and everything. But when we can see that there's a kind of a discipline in the universe, and we also follow this discipline of being grateful, and then we move forward. So the whole universe has a very silent discipline which is very fair, and it's very fair to everyone. So if we can sort of cooperate with the universe and be positive and do less damage and more positivity, and we are very nice to Mother Earth, that will take us a long way forward.
Does gratitude have any healing ability to it?
Definitely. Because once you are grateful, you are satisfied. So there are no more questions, there's no more grumbling, and there's no more complaints. So that again gives a kind of a relaxation. It gives a kind of feeling of lightness, and to move out from that situation to the next
situation. Some people believe that if I'm grateful, then the nature will work with me.
Yes.
In terms of whatever it is that I need. I'm not able to see that connection between being grateful and the nature working with me to satisfy my needs.
Swati, this is a very big question that you're asking me.
Okay.
But I totally agree with it. Because if we are positive, not selfish, not wanting to get a name for the self, not something that's personal, but for the good of everyone. If we have an aim like that and we start on a project, you find that so many people come forward to help. Even, if it's a rainy season and the building is going, the cement has to dry, the rain doesn't fall.
Is that
Can you
right?
beat it?
No.
It happens like
Wow.
that. So nature works with goodness. Nature thrives on goodness. Nature is positive. And if we can flow with nature, everything goes well. But there is one catch: no ulterior motive. So the intent must be 100% pure, and everything will work out fine. There may be one or two hitches on the way, but they will be just temporary, and you can pass. You can overcome them well.
Right, but what is it inside us that stops us? We know the value of gratitude. We know being good to other people is good. We know about all these values, be it kindness or politeness or
Yes.
compassion. But what is it inside us that stops us from being that every single time?
The feeling of complaining, wanting attention, wanting name, wanting respect, wanting money, wanting.
Okay.
So this greed has no end. It's like, taking us away from ourselves. And we think that whatever that people have to give us, whether it's money or respect, that will give us a lift.
Okay.
But it doesn't, because it makes us more greedy, more wanting, more needing. And so when there's no inner satisfaction, how can there be progress? So if I can learn to tell myself that I am here because of what I deserve, if there are some complaints, I have to see to the solutions that I can find to get me out of this complaint, and what can I do to move forward. So complaining is not the answer, but looking for answers is the answer.
Right.
So like that, if I can sort of position myself in such a way that I clear myself of questions, then I can reach out to other people. But if I myself am in a needy position, what can I do for anyone?
Mm-hmm.
So it's to free the mind, to feel grateful for so many things.
Mm-hmm.
There's a person who told me, "Sister, I have nothing. I have nothing to give, so don't expect me to give anything." So I told that person, your body is complete. You have the 5 senses. You are young. You are strong. You have everything. You can work. You can think. You can think positive.
Right.
You can help. You have time. You have so many things that people don't have. How fortunate you are.
Right.
So people think, I need money to help.
Right.
I need time to do. I need outside people to
appreciate them.
to appreciate what I'm doing.
Right.
Then only I will do. No, do it because it's good. Do it because it's nice.
This is also a very important lesson, because
Yes.
this is a common feeling in people. Like,
Yes.
I don't have anything. How am
don't
I
have-
going to contribute?
Yes.
Yeah, that's very true.
Even thinking positive is a big contribution.
Right.
Because we think negative. Many people tell me, I'm just gossiping. So what's wrong with that? It's natural to gossip. But what is gossip? Saying something not so nice
Right.
about somebody to somebody else. And we don't know whether that is true, because it's our perception, our feeling that this person is like this, which is not good. We may be wrong.
Right.
So gossiping is also having a negative attitude, a feeling of looking down on others, a feeling of not having this brotherhood, appreciation. So gossiping is bad. People think that gossiping is just
A normal
a
thing.
normal thing. It has nothing to do with karma. It has a lot to do with karma, because the way we perceive and the way we extract some points that make that person fall is itself a very negative attitude.
This karmic philosophy that you just mentioned, it's
Yes.
it's a whole series in itself, I understand.
Yes, it
But I still want to ask you, this is mostly originating in India, the karmic philosophy. So when you go overseas to another country, people have a lot of different ideas about karma. Did you have any experience where people came and maybe directly asked you about this philosophy?
Yes, when you use the word karma, they say, India. But when I tell them no, it's action, reaction. Yes.
Newton's law.
Yeah, so what you sow is what you reap. So that's karma. So it's the law of the universe. And so they accept. So when they see the relationship between this word and action, reaction, then they're okay. Even the word like Lakshmi Narayan, they say, wow, this is Hinduism. You're teaching Hinduism. I tell them, no, Lakshmi is the perfect woman. Narayan is the perfect man. If you don't want to use Lakshmi Narayan, no problem. You want to use the word Eve, you want to use the word Adam,
Right.
you're welcome.
Right.
Bibi, Adam.
Right.
Who is Bibi? Who is Adam? The perfect man, the perfect woman.
Right.
So like that. You can explain, because words are nothing.
Right.
Because where I am in Indonesia, the word for rose is mawar. So a rose flower is called mawar. And in Hindi, you use the word gulab.
Gulab.
And in English, we use the word rose.
Rose.
The three, mawar, gulab, rose, refer to the same thing.
Correct.
So when we discuss about language, physical language, then there can be a lot of misconception, misunderstanding. But when we look at the concept, it's just one.
That's true.
So this is how I explain to them. Don't be, taken up by the words,
Right.
that you come across in some,
Right.
classes.
Right.
But just go to the content of that.
Right.
What does it mean? How does it feel? The perfect man who has everything, who is so much, respected and remembered and prayed to and put in temples and remembered until today. So what kind of a person is that?
Right.
How would he have looked? What would he have done?
Right.
And all these things. I said, can you imagine?
That's really good the way you explained it, that you have taken the focus away from the words and put their attention into the meaning behind the words.
Yes.
And that I think is very important to understand.
Yes. Otherwise, they say this is Hinduism.
Right, right. Once again, Didi, I would like to thank you for this beautiful discussion, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you, and Om Shanti.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Didi has made it clear to us today the importance of gratitude in our life. If we can be grateful for everything that we have and not complain, then that's going to take us a long way in being content and happy in our life. And maybe the doors of the universe are going to open up for us and we're going to get more than we expected. With these words, I'd like to thank you all for watching. And please continue to write to us with any thoughts or concerns or questions that you may have. And we will do our best to reply. Thanks again for watching and take care.